Alright, for this tutorial we are going to basically go through the NPC creation uh, tutorial, I suppose it is, in the same way that is in the documentation. So the goal of that is just to show you how to create a basic NPC. So in the docs it says to go to Virahile 0 minus 2, so we'll double click on that to open that up in the cell view, and the purpose is to create an NPC that will be here and sit in this chair. So the first thing we want to do is actually go up to the RPG Creation Kit menu and go down to the RCK AI editor. When we open that up, then you want to create a new NPC. You can duplicate ones, but we're going to create a new one. Duplicating, you right click, or you select first, and then then you would right click up here, and you can create, you can duplicate selected or delete selected, but we're going to pick new. When you pick new, it creates this new one up here at the top, so select that. Then one of the most important things to give it is a unique entity ID. In the tutorial it's Uriel 001, and the 001 is so that you might have multiple instances of, or variations I suppose, of this NPC. And so if you give that 001, then I suppose you can have almost 1,000 different variations. I don't know if you would ever need that many. It only has to be a unique ID, so something like that, or even just 01 might be okay. And then the entity name is the name of the character that will show up when you hover over them to talk to them, that sort of thing. Then pick a race, and there's only one race that comes with the kit, and that is human, so we'll just pick that. This is going to be a male character. Non-essential, ragdoll's fine. It's not a persistent reference, that'll be for another tutorial. All those things basically are good the way they are. So then if you click save, it changes that to Uriel 001, which is the entity ID in the list there. And I believe at this point it's already created a prefab. If you click select prefab, yeah, it jumps to the prefab, so all of the AI NPCs get stored in the prefab library under AI. And selecting the prefab, we can see this is the normal Unity prefab that you can insert into different places. You can come in here and you can customize the face a little bit, although this is kind of hard to see, but randomize the face or something. And we'll give him some hair. And we'll save that. And then inventory. Let's give him some clothes. So you can just expand that and click the plus here. And we'll click it a few times because we'll give him multiple clothes. So we will go with the full set of iron helmet, iron boots, iron cuirass, iron pants. Oh, and we'll give him, we didn't give him the gloves, iron gloves, and a weapon. We will look for a weapon. The Steel greatsword. How about? Then all of these arrows here are so you can move it over to being equipped. So let's go ahead and move those over to be equipped. Even the weapon. You should only equip armor and weapons, and you shouldn't have two like helmets in there. I think it will be unexpected behavior if you do. But if weird things start happening regarding that, check in there. So we've given all the equipment. Don't need anything on the spells tab. Over here in the behavior, so the purpose behavior for right now, we're going to set to the empty. So just type empty in there to search. Pick the empty state. We do want him to sit in a chair, but right now we're configuring the prefab, and to be able to sit in the chair, you have to do that with a scene reference, and you can't have scene references on a prefab because they don't yet exist in the scene. It has to be on an instance of the prefab after you put it in the scene. So we'll apply that in a minute. Combat behavior, we'll just pick the full combat forced. Dialogue, let's do empty default dialogue for the current dialogue and the default one. And that is all that's really needed. We don't need to do any factions or anything like that. So now we have configured the AI. We have the prefab selected. So we can just close out of this. And now we can take this prefab over here from the library, drag him over into the scene. And don't worry if he looks naked, they all do. They don't equip their gear until they're actually loaded into the room. So now that we have the prefab in the scene, we actually want to come in and we can change the behavior so that it'll sit in the chair. So if we scroll down here to, we find the RCK AI section of the prefab. We can go to, it's under the movements, and we add it is NPC action point, and that is going to find all the action points available in the scene, and we'll pick the chair prefab. That by itself won't totally do it all, because not only do we need to add the action point, but the reason we add that is we can come in here and change the behavior now from the empty state to the action point one. Action. Use current action point. So by doing that as a purpose, and we've set in the movements tab, this is the current action point. That's what it should use. The last thing we need to do is when we put the AI into the cell. Oh, actually, I missed one important part that may have to happen before we do this. So just because it's created the prefab in the prefab library, there's actually a scriptable object database of AIs that it needs to be registered with. So to do that, since we've created a new AI, we just go up to the RPG Creation Kit menu and click Update All Databases. And that should get that into the AI database. And if we look at AI database, that's the script, but you can look here at the scriptable object AI database file, and now we should see that he is in fact in the list, so we're good to go. Okay, so back to selecting the scene. In the scene we want to go to the cell info and click Update Cell. And that's just going to ask us to save the scene. What it did, it looks like it disappeared, but actually it moves it for you into this AI container where he belongs. Okay, then we'll just save this scene, and then we'll click on the M here to go to the main menu so that we can launch the game. And let's see if we got all the steps right on the first try. I'm just going to a previous save that I already went through the character creation, and he's just standing here, so I have to run over to that lake, which is this way. If you don't use a save that is outside of the cell, like as soon as the cell loads in, he's gonna load, and if you've already, like, if you placed him down and went to check it out before you set up the chair or anything like that, then the save file is going to have the current state of the NPC when he had the previous empty behavior. So make sure that you go to a save point before the cell even had a chance to load, and that way he should be sitting in the chair hopefully by the time we get over there. And we're over, almost there. Almost there. And here we are. Here's old Uriel with his very random face that I clicked. And you can see it says Speak Uriel, and then this is just that default dialogue. And that's it. We have successfully created an NPC from scratch. Alright, that's all there is to this one. I'll see you in the next video.